Hey, I'm actually back, guys, and I got some updates. I got a job, so I can bring more stuff like this. Now, what is this, you might ask? Well, this is a 1986 Cavalier Z24. This is the only time you will ever see a Z24 of this generation in a convertible. Is 1986. It was kind of an experiment for GM. Supposedly they only sold these in Southern California. They are RS Cavaliers, and it's titled as an RS, but it was built as an RS, sent to ASC, made into a convertible, and ASC clipped on all the Z24 stuff that they already had for that year. But it's not technically a Z24, but it is a Z24. It has the F41 suspension, so it is a very, very good handling car. But it is definitely a one-off, and for a Chevy Cavalier, this is probably the rarest version you're ever going to find. Just simply because these didn't sell. This was a very expensive car. Got the whole red interior, the red dashboard, full digital instrumentation, the equalizer stereo, also known as UX1, and that right there, guys, that's a 4-speed transmission. Reverses up and over towards the left. So I'm sure that'll tell somebody what transmission this car has. It's a 2.8 liter V6. It's got about 127,000 on it. Now, the car came from Iowa. Very little information was really given to us about it, and we got it for a pretty good price, not really knowing what it was. It was listed as having a stalling issue, which it did, yes. And ignition control module resolved that. That's just inside the distributor. Let's open her up, show you what this really strange 2.8 liter looks like. It's pretty different from all the others. Ooh, is it hot under here? Okay, just some technological difficulties. My phone crashed out for some reason when I opened the hood. I guess if I'm at 50, 60, whatever frames per second, it must be more sensitive. So here it is. This is the 86 2.8 liter. It was replaced the next year with the motor that says MPFI on it, known as the flat top. But this actually has this cool looking, like, finned aluminum intake. Just got done putting a new alternator in. Now, unfortunately, whoever worked on it before me, because the alternator that was in here was a AC Delco replacement with Chinese parts, so it crapped out. I had a 100 amp one wire, so what I ended up doing is this is the front housing of the 10SI, this is the back housing of the one wire. Now, as it turns out, a one wire can also be a 3-wire. So the alternator was a pretty easy resolution. Strange belt tensioner, but it works. So, charging system's taken care of. The AC is charged up and working. But no, the big thing that happened when I got this is it kept boiling over and overflowing this. You can still see the crap around there from it. So, as it turned out, the radiator cap was bad and it kept steaming out the system, and it blew the other radiator up. So, it's a little beat up, but it is from like 2013 or 14. This is the radiator from my now long gone 88 Cadillac Cimarron that was on this channel for quite a while. Getting stared at by patrons of the graveyard. Boy, does that always make me feel super awkward when people just stop and blatantly stare at you. Hi guys, just making a YouTube video. Bye now. Okay, where were we? We were at, this being the 2.8. The interesting thing is, instead of aluminum heads, iron heads, but that's the early injection system. Now, as far as I know, this also has the same injection system with 7 fuel injectors as the Pontiac Fiero. Basically, this is all the same stuff that's in the Fiero, just some stuff spiced up and changed a little bit for the purpose of being in front wheel drive again. I mean, I guess it's what they had around at the time and what was available. Early serpentine, so it gets the diagram. But no, this thing is beautiful. Whatever it is, whether it is a true blue Z24 or whether it's a prototype or if it's just a really dressed up RS that was sold as an experiment to see if they could do it. They didn't because it was too expensive. This is an 86. They were only going to make this style for one more year. 87, then it was discontinued. The second generation had a full redesign on the coupe to facilitate convertible versions, where this is just built as a normal car, roof's cut off. They do all kinds of stuff to make it a convertible, and that's that. So it just was too expensive for GM to do it more than once and only a few off. Some say 200, some say 400, some say 600. Nobody can agree. I'm going to go with 400. So there were probably about 400 of these built. Now, since they were probably built as a promotional item, these cars are decked out. Full digital instrumentation, equalizer stereo, air conditioning, cruise control, power locks, power windows. Now this one has a 4-speed, which is pretty unusual, which again really makes me think it's kind of like a promotional thing because, man, most of these were probably automatic. The clutch is shot in this car. The woman who sold it to us was not very forward about the clutch being completely smoked. It's got the lovely red interior. This upholstery is so nice. I mean, look at this. This is just such a nice interior. When was the last time you saw a red interior on a Chevrolet Cavalier that wasn't trashed? These Z24s or these RSs, they had it pretty hard in their cheap years. They were little rocket ships, so they were pretty much beat to crap. Not many of them are left. It's got the nice RS Z24 wheels. Honestly, I don't know what it would be lacking that a Z24 has that it doesn't, so it's a Z24, and I don't care what anybody says. It's just a really rare one. And a really rare, good-looking one. Alright guys, got the hood down. Oh, is it warm today? No, not really. It's like 71. Ding! Oh, you closed it so hard. Not really. Look at that. That door is a big old honker. Look at that thing. Look at how much of the car is like gone when the door is open. Like, look at that big hole in the side of the car. It's like a bathtub on wheels. There's no handle on it, so this is one of them cars that if you flip it, well, don't. And if you do, how? Why? Slow down, Speed Racer. See, look at that. Look at all them goodies in there. It is not 104 today. The temperature sensor's up front by the radiator, so it gets hot. Radiator fan's on. Cool itself down. Oh, this is a Z24. The flickering is just the camera not syncing with the gauges. This is all vacuum fluorescent. That's analog and that's a lie. It's actually only about 900 right now, but this thing, like 2500 is like almost pegged, so this thing doesn't work right. Temperature's nice, voltage is nice, AC is good. I like this baby. Look at this. You pull this collar up, over, in. Then now you just pull it forward again, and that's off you go. Despite the clutch being really excessively bad in this car, I can still drive it. Just honestly, I'm pretty good with a clutch. That's why. So this is just a quick introduction to this car. This is my 1986 Chevy Cavalier Z24. Glad to have one. Not sure what kind of content I can bring you guys on it, other than I have one, and it's part of the Cavalier collection now. Heck of a cool car. Giving up a lot for this one. I'm selling the Cimarron and the white Cavalier. Those are both actually leaving. So, alright guys, talk to you later.